Hey guys, so I am doing this last video for you guys because I love you, right? And you need to know that like if I'm doing extra videos to help you guys out, it's because I believe in you guys so much. You guys did a really good job on day one quiz. Um, but day two quiz is a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to explain what makes it a little challenging. And I hope you are like really focusing and paying attention. So here are some rules of thumb. Before I explain anything, before I solve anything, what I want you guys to do is always solve the problem on your own, right? So solve the problem on your own first. That way, when I go over the problem, you can edit or make any changes, okay? So let's get started. For every problem, I'm going to tell you how many points it's worth and how to properly solve it so that you can make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. This is a 3-point problem. Yes, it is a 3-point problem, which means that if you do not get it right, you will lose all 3 points. However, you can get 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. The goal is that everybody at least gets a point, and I'm going to explain that. So here we say expression one is this, expression two is this. It says all the expressions shown equivalent, show or explain the steps you need to determine your answer. Use properties of operation to justify each step. Now go ahead and pause it right now. I'm going to count to 10 and solve it. Well, pause this screen, solve it first. You should be taking 3 minutes to solve it. So set a timer for 3 minutes, solve it. Okay, so by now you will have paused the screen and solved it. Now it's my turn to explain like how I would go over it. Okay, so I see two expressions, expression one and expression two, right? So if I'm typing my response, I would say, first, I need to simplify both expressions. All right, so then I'll write expression one. Now, you will then say distribute that is a big word, and I'll show you what that means. Distribute 6 into 2x plus 4y. And then underneath, show what that means. So this little arrow right here is distributing. And because it's in parentheses, it's being multiplied. So I'm multiplying my 6 by my 2x, and that gives me 12x. Keep the sign. And then I'm multiplying, look at my arrow, 6 into 4y. Do not add 6 plus 2. Do not add 6 plus 4. It is multiplying 6 times 2x, then 6 times 4y, and 6 times 4 is 24. Thus, it is 24y. Then you could say this is my simplified expression. Then you write expression 2. 2 times 2x plus 2y plus 3 times 2x plus 8y. Then you put use properties of operations to solve. So I want to distribute my 2 into my 2x, my 2 into my 2y. That gives me 4x plus 4y. Plus, then I have to distribute my 3 into my 2x, which is 6x plus 8y. This is very important. Next, compare like terms. Like terms are the x's and the y's. So that's why I like to box off my x's and I like to circle my y's, right? To tell me what am I comparing. So my 4x is going to be added with my 6x. 4x plus 6x is 10x plus 4y plus 8y, 12y. And you would say simplified expression. Then, now you're answering, are they equivalent? Why or why not? Well, expression 1 is 12x plus 24y. Expression 2 is 10x plus 12y. So the answer is the expressions are not equivalent because when simplified, they do not share the same expression. Or the terms are not the same. But also they don't share the same expression simplified.
It's true.
Yeah, it's not the same. But oh, Miss Cook is with me too. You know, I'm always learning with Miss Cook. Same expressions or share the same terms.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, this is what it takes for a 3-point problem. Now, if you said, let's say the answer is they are equivalent, and you said they are equivalent because they share the same expression, you receive 1 point for that. If you said, when simplified, expression 1 is this, when simplified, expression 2 is this, you will receive 1 point for that, right? But we want to get the biggest bang for our buck. We want 3 points. I know you guys want 100. Guys, Rayleigh was the only 6th grader with 100. I know y'all want 100. Shout out to my boy Rayleigh. I'm very proud of you, Rayleigh. The only 6th grader? Y'all. Look at that. Look at that. So y'all could do this. All right, now, here's this problem. Pause. I'm going to count 10 seconds. You should take the next 3 minutes to work on it by yourself. And remember, this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to explain it and see if you got it right again. By this time, you should have paused the screen. You should have practiced the problem. Now, let me try to solve it. So, first, I need to simplify both expressions.
You can show the word for that too.
Expression, Expression 1 is 3 times 3x plus 4y. Distribute 3 into 3x plus 4y. Um, 3 times 3x. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times 4y is 12y. This is my simplified expression. Expression 2x plus 2x plus 2 times 2x plus 3y plus 2x plus 6y. Ooh, that's a problem. That's a tight one. So first, use my properties of operations to solve. So I want to distribute my 2 into my 2x plus 3y. 2 times 2x is 4x plus 2 times 3y is 6y. Then bring everything else down. X plus 2x plus that plus 2x plus 6y. And then I want to square my x's.
You including the sign in front of it? The plus sign?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice job, Miss Brooke.
What, like in front of like when I square?
Yeah, but like when you square it, include the sign in front of it. because,
That's a good one.
stuff.
Okay.
It's gotta be the one in front. Now let me give you a different color.
Okay.
Nope, it's
So let me circle my y's. Miss Cook is gonna show us a trick when they are negatives.
well,
Okay. So, okay, good.
no, you go. All right, so we're gonna combine like terms. We're gonna circle the x's and the sign in front of them. So
Oh,
like
okay.
this is a positive 12x. This is a positive 4x, and then positive 2x, and then obviously x.
Okay,
Okay.
so that lets me know that x plus 2x
Yep.
plus 4x
Yep.
plus 2x. So x plus 2x is 3x.
Yep.
3x plus 4x is 7x.
Yep.
7x plus 2x is 9x. And let's look at the y's. Plus 6y and plus 6y. And 6 plus 6 is 12. 12y. Simplified. Thank you, Ms. Cook.
Of course.
Simplified expression. My answer is the expressions are equivalent because when simplified, they share the same expression
Yep.
or terms. Okay? So we just learned something really cool from Ms. Cook. You guys saw how I wrote this down, and this is exactly how you want to write all of this to get those, how many points? 3 points. 3. Y'all got this. All right, let's go to another problem. I just put this in here to just get you, see what you guys can do. Now, we all know, what's the area of a rectangle? Go ahead and write that down. I mean, a parallelogram. So I'm going to write that down. Area is base times height. But what's the area of a triangle?
Right, did you know that kids can use the reference sheet tomorrow?
Oh my God, there will be a reference sheet.
Yeah.
Guys, there will be a reference sheet. So make sure you ask for the reference sheet. What? And that area is base times height divided by 2.
Or 1/2 base times height.
Or 1/2 base times height. But why is it 1/2? Why am I dividing it by 2? Yes. So you got to remember that I saw a lot of you guys, which you guys found the base times the height so well, but what you guys forget when a triangle, when a what? Triangle, you have to divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2. So do not forget that. Now let's look at it. How do we know the base is the grounded side, which means that I can sit that base on the ground and it is not moving. So I know the base does not always show me the bottom side. It can be the top or the side. But if I'm looking at it, this 10 right here has a slant. So it can't be my base, nor can it be my height. But this 12 centimeters right here, it's grounded. So that is my base. And I know I find my height at the right angle. Whenever you see that right angle, you know that height is close. My height is 8 centimeters. Look at that. Or a T, which is, what's that word? When it makes it perpendicular. Yep, you see that? It makes an H. Now, 12 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 96. So my answer for this is 96 centimeters. Wait, this is a 2-dimensional figure, so it's centimeters squared. Or 96 square centimeters. Yeah. Let's look at this one. What kind of shape is this, guys? It is a triangle. So what formula are we using? This one. What is our base? Oh, right here. This is a grounded side. So our base is 4. What is our height? It can't be 10 because it's a slant. We know our height is wherever we see that right angle. So our height is 8, and 4 times 8 is 32. But it's not 32 because this is not a parallelogram. This is a triangle. So what do we need to do? We need to divide it by 2, or we need to multiply it by 1/2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. And what units are we doing? Centimeters. So it's 16 centimeters squared. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the screen. I'm going to go ahead and I want you to pause this, and I want you guys to figure out the area for these 2 triangles, and I'm going to come back to it. So go ahead and pause. I'm going to count to 10, and then I'm going to stop the pause. All right. So let's see. We know this is a triangle, and a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. So the base is the grounded side. We know my base is 12. The height is at the right angle, so we know our height is 5. And 12 times 5 is 60 centimeters. Wait, but we're missing something. What kind of shape is this? It is a triangle, so we have to divide that thing by 2. And our answer is 30 centimeters squared. Let's look at this one. This is not a triangle. This is a parallelogram, which means that I don't have to divide by 2. I just need to find my base times my height. My base, it can't be 5 because that is a slanted slide. Oh, my base is 4 and 2/10. My height is at that right angle. It's 4. 4.2 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. My answer is 16 and 8/10 centimeters squared. Did you get that same answer? If you did it, now is the time for you to check your work. So go ahead and pause it if you need to. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Now, you guys usually do good on percentage problems, but let's just see. Jose went to Foot Locker. What Jose is going to Foot Locker for? Jose went to Foot Locker with a 25% off coupon. Where did you get that coupon from? He purchased a pair of Jordans. And they originally cost $250. How much does Jose save using the coupon? So basically, we're trying to figure out what is 25% of 250. Once we find that out, we know how much the coupon, how much money helped him take out of his price with the coupon. Now, we can look at this multiple ways. So I'm going to show it multiple ways, and you tell me which way you like better. What I like is when we're finding the percentage of a number we turn, we know 25% is 25 over 100, right? But that's also a fraction, which is also a decimal, which is 0.25. We know we multiply 0.25 times the total, which is 250. Let's see. Because this problem is what? Calculator. We can use a calculator. We just got to know how to use the calculator. 0.25 times 250, $62.50. Remember, money is in cents, and you only use the two digits after the decimal point. So $62.50. So that's how much his coupon was. He saved $62.50. Now let's look at it another way. So what do we know? We know that 25% is over 100. We also know that the original price is $250. Thus, that is the total, and the total always represents 100%. We can use unit rate to solve this problem. Now we got to ask ourselves, how do we get from 100 to 250? Or how do we get from 250 to 100? Well, to get from 100 to 250, I multiply by 2.5. But let's just say, what if I didn't know how to multiply? I can divide this big number right here, 250, by 100 to determine my unit rate. So 250 divided by 100 is 2.5, which tells me to go from the percentage side to the price side, I multiply by 2.5, and to go from the price side to the percentage side, I divide by 2.5. Now, what side am I going to? Am I going to the price side or am I going to the percentage side? Oh, I'm going from the percentage to the price side, which means that whatever number is here, I just multiply that thing by 2.5 and I got my answer. So let's see if that's true. 25 times 2.5 is what? 62.5. Look at that. You use unit rate. I'm gonna asterisk this because I want you to practice this, because there will be a problem asking about percentage of change, and the way to solve that is using the unit rate and being able to determine what to do with each side. There will be a problem about that, and you need to use this skill. So I want to see this skill on this problem when you guys practice. All right. Another way to do it, but there's just so many different ways. But let's just, yeah, there's, you guys, one or the other, or another way. You use a table, you can use a tape diagram. All right, so go ahead and pause, and I want you guys to try to solve this problem. All right, so Angel received 18% off coupon at Apple for maintaining a 4.2 GPA. I think his GPA is a little bit higher than that. I'm like lowballing Angel's. Angel, I'm sorry about that. He purchased a MacBook Air that originally cost $1,050, but he had 18%. So we know 18% is over 100 is 0.18, and 0.18 times your total of 1,050. 0.18 times 1,050. Oh, sorry. 189. So he saved $189. See if you remember this way. I want you to try this way on this problem. All right. We got to move forward. We got to move forward. So here it says, which equation matches the coordinates given in the table? In order to solve this problem, you have to ask yourself, what do I need to do to X to get to Y? What do I need to do to X to get to Y? How do I get from X to Y? How do I get from X to Y? Well, how do I get from 3 to 1? Oh, I know. I divide 3 by itself. Any number divided by itself is 1. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I'm dividing by 3. 39 divided by 3 is 13. Okay, 27 divided by 3 is 9. So whatever I do to X, I just must divide X by 3. No, this A says X minus 2. That is incorrect. Y equals 3X. I'm not multiplying by 3. I'm dividing by 3. C says X plus 2. I'm not adding 2. No. Y equals X divided by 3. D is my answer. Now, I'm looking at my X and Y values here, but I'm looking at my X and Y values here. 20, 50, 75, 100, 125. That doesn't match. But I know that in order to find Y, right? In order to find Y, I must divide X by 3. I know my X-axis is down here, my Y-axis is here. So in order to find a point up here, I must divide one of these points by 3. Let me see. What can really help me? I know there's a relationship between 75 and 3. So what if I divided 75 divided by 3? It's 25. So my X is 75, my Y is 25. Boom. What's another one? Oh, 150. 150 divided by 3 is 50, which means my X is 150, my Y is 50. And 225 divided by 3 is 75. And I want to create that line. Okay? Remember, in order to find Y, I must divide X by 3. So use this same practice to solve this problem. You're asking yourself 2 questions. What am I doing to X to get to Y? Right? Another question is, in order to find Y, which is the Y-axis, I must do what? Dot, dot, dot. Okay? To get from X to Y, it's looking like I have to divide by 4. So X divided by 4, we know the answer is A. Now, this is where you guys struggle, right? I need a charger ASAP. Because it will cut off. It did cut off. Oh, no, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't cut off. I could try. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. We moved. Moved to Florida.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
I just moved to Pennsylvania right there. All right. Sorry, guys. So, you know, Mr. Ray can be very, what do you call it? Clumsy. So here's the problem. You guys see? What did you do to X to get to Y? You see that? In order to find y, I must do what? So what value for x are you going to use? And what are you going to do to that x to get to y? Pause it, try to figure it out. But what I would do, I would say, like, I would give x 100, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. 200 divided by 4 is 50. And that's how I would do it, right? X is 100, y divided by 4 is 25. 200 divided by 4 equals 50. All right. I hate that I did this so, last, but I hope you guys are with me. This problem is quite complex because it is another 3-point problem. It says Kelvin and Rosina solved a fraction division problem in class. Their teacher put both their papers on the .cam so the students could see their problem. So basically what you're doing is you're figuring out how do the models compare. So you have to answer in steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3. You're answering in 3 steps to determine what the answer is. So step 1, you have to say, so Kelvin shows 1, 2, 3. Well, that'll be 4, but it's not, it's 4.5 plus another fourth. So it's 4 3/4. So Kelvin shows 4 3/4, right? Rosina divides 4 3/4 by 1/2. Step 2, Kelvin converts, that's a word. Kelvin converts his model into fourths. Rosina finds equivalent fractions to also convert into fourths. Step 4, Kelvin groups each of his wholes by 1/2 or 2/4. Kelvin groups each of his wholes by 2/4. Do you see? 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is one group of 2/4, 2 groups of 2/4, 3 groups of 2/4, 4 groups of 2/4, 5, 6, 7, and it's 1/4 left, which is going to be 1/2 of the 3/4, 1/2 of the divisor. So Kelvin groups each of his wholes by 2/4 to get 7 1/2. Rosina divides a total of 15/4 by 2/4. A total of 15/4 by 2/4, and it equals 7 1/2. I shared what happened in step 1, step 2, and step 3. You have to make sense of what you see and how it is compared, how both the model is compared to the numerical response. Once you do that and you do it in order, you will get 3 points. 3. All right? So ask yourself, talk to your parents about this. Like, what do you see? Right? So I would say step 1, Liam shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 1/2, right? And Leilani shows 4 and 1/2 divided by 1/3, right? So then Liam converts his whole, his 4 and 1/2 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into sixes, right? So now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixes, 6 for each whole. Okay, so that's how you got 4 wholes and 3 6, because 3 6 is 1/2 of a whole, right? And Leilani did the same thing. She converted her 1/2. Well, what she did was she let me see the vocabulary word I used in this. Yep. She found equivalent fractions. You see where it says 1/2? Initially it was 1/2, but she found an equivalent number shared by 1/2 and 1/3. And the number shared by 2 and 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. So what you do on the bottom, you do on the top. She multiplied 3 times 2 and 1 times 2. That's how she got 2 6. And Kelvin and Liam also did the same thing. He showed 6. Okay. And then they just counted how many groups of 2 6 are in 27 6. So in total, there is 27 6. And then they group the 27 6 by 2 6. As you see how I just said that? I just verbally just said that. If you just type that out, what do you see is happening? That's all you need to do. You're comparing the model with the numerical response. All right? Good luck. I believe in you all.
Yep, good luck. You'll do well.
You'll do well. You got this. All right.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.